Writing paragraphs. Today, our agenda will be to focus on paragraphs. Paragraphs as building blocks for effective writing. The second point will be elements of a good paragraph. The parts, what makes up a good paragraph. The different parts of what you would call a good paragraph for effective writing. This will be the topic sentence, your supporting sentences, which are the sentences that help you develop and organize your writing, and the concluding sentence. What are paragraphs? Paragraphs are the building blocks for effective writing. Having all the best ideas in the world is great, but it's better when you can write and your readers or anyone who picks up your material can follow your writing. So having the best ideas is great. However, your reader should be able to follow what you're writing and understand what your writing is all about. You also need to organize your writing in a logical way so as to make it easy for your reader to follow your writing. For you to have a good paragraph, you would need to have a good structure. A good structure would help you organize your thoughts and your ideas and guide your reader through your writing. So we go to the question, what is a good paragraph? A good paragraph is a group of sentences that helps you introduce and develop one idea, a whole idea, just one idea. You're developing an idea, you're introducing an idea and developing it through the paragraph. So, a good paragraph is made up of three important parts. These are your topic sentence, your supporting sentences, as well as your concluding sentence. It's very much like a burger. You have the top bun, which is your topic sentence, the lower bun, which will be your concluding sentence. In between your topic sentence and your concluding sentence, you have your supporting sentences where you will be developing your ideas and giving structure to your writing. These can be likened to the bits that you have in a bun or a burger. For example, you could have lettuce, you could have cheese, tomatoes, beef, pickles, olives, whatever you want to fill your burger with. These would be your supporting sentences. These will be the things that would help your reader flow with your ideas and understand your writing. So here we have a sample paragraph. Today we'll use this sample paragraph to display and to explain the three parts of a good paragraph. I'll go ahead to read this and I'll give you some time to read it as well. There are multiple benefits to learning another language. For one, when traveling abroad, the ability to have actual conversations with the people one encounters can provide a much deeper appreciation for the country one is in. When I visited Mexico, for example, I was grateful that I already knew some Spanish because I quickly made friends who showed me around their town. This helped me see and experience more than the typical tourist attractions, and I learned more about a Mexican's daily life. Learning another language can also open up new professional opportunities. A recent poll in the United States found that 9 out of 10 employers wanted to hire employees who speak more than one language. And we find the reference there at Global 2022. This is due not only to the need to expand into international markets, but also to the growing multilingual customer base within the United States itself. Speaking another language, then, can make one more competitive when looking for a job, whether for work or pleasure, at home or abroad. The ability to communicate in more than one language presents clear advantages. From this sample paragraph, we have different parts as I listed before. You have the topic sentence, which gives us an idea, gives us an introduction to what the focus of the paragraph is. Typically, it's the first sentence in a paragraph. The topic sentence needs to relate back to all the ideas that you have in your writing. So it overlooks or overshadows, it covers up all the things that you put in, all your supporting ideas. The topic sentence represents that. Also, in writing your topic sentence, your reader should be able to get an overview or the main gist about what you're writing. In this paragraph, we have a topic sentence, and that is highlighted in the blue color ink. There are multiple benefits to learning another language. Here we have the topic sentence. Going on, we have supporting sentences. These sentences help us develop our idea, help us give our topic good focus, and backs up what we're writing about. Here we have our supporting sentences highlighted in green. Without our supporting sentences, we leave our readers unconvinced or confused. They do not understand or cannot relate with what has been written. And that's why it's essential to have your supporting sentences reflecting your ideas. There are different ways of developing your supporting sentences. Some of the ways are to use examples or illustrations to back up your research with data. You could also use definitions, popular or known authoritative definitions of your ideas. You could use explanations as well, and also analyze the topic or the idea that you are writing about. You could also describe what you are trying to help your reader understand. In this paragraph, there are two main supporting points, and we'll look at this right away. The first part you have in the green color, and the second point is the red. We will note how each of these supporting points is first introduced before we go on to develop it. So you have the underlined part, the green bold underlined part. That's the introduction of the supporting point. And then we have following it a development of that point. In this sample paragraph, we can see how each supporting point is being developed. In the first part of the paragraph, you have, for one, when traveling abroad, the ability to have actual conversations with the people one encounters can provide a much deeper appreciation for the country one is in. That is one point that the author or the writer wants us to be conscious of. With that, the writer has offered an example of how this can be translated. So the writer writes, when I visited Mexico, for example, I was grateful that I already knew some Spanish because I quickly made friends who showed me around their town. This helped me see and experience more than the typical tourist attractions, and I learned more about a Mexican's daily life. So the writer here has used an example of their own experience to buttress the point that they are highlighting. In the second part of the paragraph, you have the second point, which is learning another language can also open new professional opportunities. The writer has used the method of research to develop this point. He makes reference to Lobel 2022, stating that a recent poll in the United States found that 9 out of 10 employers wanted to hire employees who speak more than one language. And this is found from something that they researched or they found out by reading broadly. In developing our supporting sentences, we need to be logical. Our organization has to be logical. It means that our reader is able to follow what we are writing. Our reader is able to follow your thought process and get the idea of what your writing is all about. In academic writing, we usually write in a linear pattern. The word linear begins with the word line, and that tells us that we need to work on a straight line. We won't be moving up, down, middle, below, all over the place. We need to work systematically and logically. Here in this example, you find the first supporting sentences. The first supporting sentence in green, and then it's followed by the next supporting sentence, which is highlighted in the red color, and the final supporting sentence in purple. The ideas of the writer are logically stated. So the writer states a point, backs it up with data, research, examples, description, and then moves on to the next supporting sentence, supporting point, and develops it with research, description, or whatever options they decide to explore. And then they move on to the last bit. You can see here that the sentences are logically arranged. Here also, you'll note that the sentences are front-loaded. When we say front-loaded, we mean that the idea, this main point, comes first in that sentence. It comes first in that paragraph. So the author has written, learning another language can also open new professional opportunities. That's front-loading the idea and then taking it on with more examples or more explanations so that whoever is reading will be able to flow with their writing. Organization is very important as you write your paragraphs, and you could explore different types of organizational patterns depending on the purpose of your writing. If you were exploring a narrative writing, then you could use the chronological order. You start from the farthest date and work backwards onto the most recent experience. If you were writing for a procedure, for example, if you want to show the steps for baking or cooking, then it has to go step by step. You would have to follow the procedure to get the right outcome. If you were making an illustrative writing, then you could use a combination of explanation as well as using examples. This would help your reader understand, follow, and appreciate your writing. In writing your paragraph and building your supporting sentences, using an outline will be very helpful. This would help you organize your paragraph even before you start writing. With that, you have a skeletal idea of what you need to do. In this sample paragraph, we have an outline that covers the topic, and it has two different parts, part A as well as part B. In the example that we are exploring today, we see the topic. There are multiple benefits to learning another language. That's clearly stated there and starts the paragraph. The outline covers two parts, A and B. In the A part, you have the experience of the writer being shared there. The writer spoke about how they were able to interact, converse, hold dialogues and conversations with native speakers, and uses the example of how they were able to explore the city during their visit better. They were able to do that because they already had some knowledge of the language. The B part of our outline talks about another aspect, which is another idea, which is the opportunities that learning a new language provides, opening professional opportunities. Everyone wants a better opportunity, and acquiring a new language, learning a language could be a good way to explore more opportunities, more professional opportunities. The writer here uses the poll, making reference to the United States, and also talks about international markets, making it a global phenomenon beyond just the locality of where you live. And also touches on the opportunity to have a broader base of customers who most likely will be multilingual. In building our writing, in our paragraphs, we make use of some words which are called signal words. Signal words or phrases are those words that help your reader connect with what you're writing. It helps your reader flow with what you're writing. These words are not to be used all the time, so they are not so frequent or many in your paragraph. They are used strategically. For example, we have for one here in this paragraph. For one connects the idea to the explanation that the writer has. We also have the word also. It gives the writer the opportunity to provide a fluid conversation or a fluid writing, and that makes it easy for anyone who is reading to go along with the ideas of your writing. We have another word, which is another signal word, which is then. This is a linking word that connects one sentence to another. For example, the for one that we talked about up at the beginning of the paragraph shows us some pattern of sequence. You move from one to the next and then another. So it gives us a sense of sequential arrangement of thoughts. You could also have words that depict comparison, words like similarly, as well, likewise, also. And then you have some words that can help you make contrasts as you write. For example, you have two researchers. One is for an idea and another is against it. You can merge these two ideas together using a word or a phrase like "on the other hand," and that would make your writing more professional. We'll have a look now at the concluding sentence. As earlier stated, your concluding sentence should be a reflection of your topic sentence. It should be the sentence that helps you wrap up your writing in that paragraph. Usually, your concluding sentence would link back to the main idea of the paragraph. And it's usually giving an overview or wraps up what all the other supporting sentences have been talking about, what the other top sentences have been addressing. It can also be linked to your research question or your topic question. It also can take you on to your next paragraph, so you can flow easily from one paragraph, the idea of one paragraph, into another one. So today we have looked at parts of writing a good paragraph, writing an effective, making an effective writing of a good paragraph. In summary, we talked about a good paragraph requiring structure, which is important, is essential, as it helps us organize our ideas. It gives our readers a better understanding of what we are addressing in our writing. A paragraph would focus on one central idea and usually consists of three parts, which are the topic sentence, the supporting sentences, and a concluding sentence. As stated, the topic sentence would introduce the reader to the idea of what the paragraph is about. Your supporting sentences would help you develop your central idea. It needs to be logically organized. And remember to make use of signal words so as to guide your reader. Finally, you have the concluding sentence, which provides a connection to the main idea, to your central idea. So you have your topic sentence, your supporting sentences, and your concluding sentence. And that would be all with writing paragraphs for now. Thank you.